Hey everyone, Chris here and welcome to another slightly longer AV product brief. Rolling out Teams rooms is a full-time job for many AV professionals, and the AV design for the typical room personas seems largely settled. Small huddled spaces of 4 people or less get a booth and a video bar with a display. Medium-sized spaces get 2 PTZ cameras and a big screen and a microphone ceiling array. Larger spaces and boardrooms get more cameras down the side of the rooms, 2 ceiling tiles and multiple displays. Rinse and repeat. Kandao was one of the first to posit an alternative approach. Why not put the camera, speaker and mics in the middle of the table? This was about 5 years ago, and if Kandao wasn't the first to market, it was certainly the first product of its type that I saw. Others followed, including from MaxHub and more recently Logitech. There are a couple of advantages in putting the AV on the table. From a video perspective, you can get a camera that's closer to head height in front of participants' faces. From an audio perspective, the microphones are much more close to the source. From a loudspeaker perspective, you can keep levels down lower, which doesn't excite the space unnecessarily. The on-table format works especially well when the meeting is, say, 80% in the room. Let me explain. If you have 6 or 8 people around a table, 1 or 2 people chiming in remotely, then naturally most of the discussion is around the table. As one work-from-home professional once confided in me, when you join a meeting from home, everyone faces you and says hello, and from then on you just see the sides of their heads as they conduct the meeting amongst each other around the table. In other words, it can be pretty isolating and exclusionary for those on the far end. But with the mid-table approach, those at the far end get face-on contact with everyone around the table, if the camera and the processing is up to the task. Kandao has now further refined its approach by releasing a model in its meeting range with integrated HD displays. Meeting Ultra combines a 360 camera, 8-element microarray, 10-watt loudspeaker and 2 touchscreens for an all-in-one VC appliance that means an in-room meeting can be naturally conducted without recourse to a front-of-room display, while those at the far end feel more involved and included. That's a long intro, but this product needs context because it's doing something different. So let's look how successfully it's doing it. The two 15.6-inch touchscreens are the most conspicuous distinguishing features of the Meeting Ultra. They allow you to mediate all aspects of the call without recourse to a laptop. The system ships with a remote controller, but in my time with Meeting Ultra, it wasn't required. As soon as I pulled Meeting Ultra out of the box, the system felt right-sized to me. The displays are about the size of a big laptop and don't need to be larger in my view. You can connect the unit to 1 or 2 external screens if you so desire via the 2 HDMI ports. And for larger spaces, this might be the perfect combination. The Meeting Ultra boots up with Android as the operating system. Actually, if it helps you get your head around this unit, you can think of it as an Android device on steroids. You can download apps from the Google Marketplace like a tablet, and you can launch apps in the way you'd expect. I think Meeting Ultra really comes into its own when it's natively hosting the call. In my tests, I logged into Teams and Zoom with my credentials. In a commercial context, it might be logged in as Meeting Room A. Because it's entirely self-contained, you don't need a control system to launch the call on an in-room PC. It's all done within Meeting Ultra. Just hit join and away you go. You can, of course, bring your own meeting. The best way is to connect to the Meeting Ultra via the USB-C port and select it as your mic, loudspeaker and camera, then mirror your display. You can use Wi-Fi as well if you need to. The 360 camera is where most of the magic happens. It frames up the occupants around the table. The tracking is smooth and responsive. It means that someone presenting can have the freedom to pace the front of the room and be actively tracked. There's even a pre-configured view that provides that person with more screen real estate for those at the other end of the call. Try doing that with a conventional setup with 2 PTZ cameras under a big screen. I've been using Meeting Ultra for a while now, and I'm beginning to run out of objections as to why it's not the best possible way of cracking the mid-sized hybrid meeting room nut. It is a Zoom certified unit, but it's not Teams certified, which will automatically disqualify it from many bombs. I guess the way I see it is it's basically a Microsoft Android powered gadget. I don't know, is a Samsung tablet Teams certified? For jobs where the certification makes no difference, perhaps for any small to mid-sized enterprise that might have one decent-sized space to conduct in-person and hybrid meetings, the Meeting Ultra drops straight in with zero configuration time and offers a superior experience. You can even run it via PoE, which cleans up the cable mess on the table quite considerably. The other objection is the fact that Kandao is hardly the first name in commercial AV. True, but it's a pioneer in this particular tech, and it's backed by a credible wholesaler in Oros. Worth a try, I'd suggest.